Hello folks, this is Mark and this is UCD videos. How you guys doing? So today we're looking at a series of small little keychain sized arcade machines. These are made by a company called Super Impulse and are currently being sold at a retailer near you. I've seen them at Target and Walmart and in various other stores. Box Lunch was where I got my Pac Man. So let's take a look. So they're basically little arcade machine replicas. Pretty nifty looking, you know. They've got controls in the front here. Let's see. Joystick, 2 buttons. Pretty faithful recreations of the artwork on the sides and things. They all have a keychain little hanger there. And they use 3 AAA batteries, which actually they come with the batteries installed, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, they're actually very impressive. I actually really like these things. There's Pac Man, Galaxian, right? Just kind of get a look at the artwork there, you know. Pretty accurate stuff, I'd say. Right. We also have a Mrs. Pac Man and Space Invaders. So I took these out of the boxes already, but I put them in here so you guys can see what they look like. If you want to see what the packaging looks like, you know. Pretty cool stuff, right? It's got, I think these are by the same series. There's the world's smallest, you see here. They also make like little tiny toys, right? So I've seen them make, for example, the world's smallest Etch-a-Sketch, stuff like that. So I think this is this series, but yeah, they're really cool. You know, smallest fully functional arcade game. Pretty awesome stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll take these out of the packages. Here's Space Invaders, so you can kind of get a look at the package for Space Invaders. Right, pretty cool. So we'll take these out of the packages here and we'll fire them up and we'll get some gameplay going. Okay, let's fire one of these guys up. So it actually looks a lot better in real life than it does through the camera here. I think this is probably as good as we're going to get as far as like getting a clear picture of the screen, but yeah, I think it looks pretty good, you know. Let me see if I can move this up a little further. So you can kind of see it has that bluish tinge at the top. I think that's an artifact from the camera because in real life it doesn't have that at all. The screen is actually very clear, very crisp. And right now we're just looking at the demo mode, so you know you can kind of see it, the arcade sounds and everything. They're all pretty close. Let's try it out. So here you have 2 buttons, but only in this game only this button is actually used. So you can see how small this is. Like look how big my finger is compared to this. So let's turn on Pac Man here, and I'm probably going to eat it because I'm playing it through the viewfinder. All right, let's see what we got. So don't laugh at my Pac Man skills here. So one thing is that there is no volume control on these, right? So this might be a little loud here. Get out of my way. Right. So unfortunately, yeah, there's no volume. There's no ghost. There's no headphone jack. Nothing like that. So basically, if you're going to play this, you're going to annoy your parents. Oh, damn. Let's get the cherries. Haha, got it. So yeah, it's looking pretty good, I think, you know. It's actually very close to the arcade. Let's go ahead and turn this one off. But not before we get the famous... Alright. So, pretty close. If anything, the screen is a little too small. And you get some... Like, it's small enough to where it can't adequately display the, you know, game correctly. Like, the resolution is too small. But, I mean, in these games, these are, you know, primitive enough. These games are old enough where I don't think that matters. So let's take a look at Space Invaders, just if you want to get another look, you know, at the artwork on there. It's actually very nice, right? This one, I think, actually is a lot more playable. The tiny joystick and the tiny controls don't interfere with it very well. So let's start this guy out. So here goes Space Invaders, right? And you fire with this button here. And it actually, I think, once again, looks really, really good. I think this one actually looks better than Pac Man. Right, but anyway, it's just basic Space Invaders. It's a little loud. If I had one complaint about these things, is that they're loud. But yeah, you know, it's not anything too crazy, you know. I mean, I don't really think I'd want to use this thing to be like, to have like a hardcore gaming session with anyway. Where you going? Haha. You ain't going away. But you can kind of see, you know, all the sound is exact. Which leads me to think that it's an actual ROM. Right? And not like a recreation or something. You know? That's it, there it goes, speeds up. Haha, got him. So yeah, you know, Space Invaders, that's pretty accurate. Okay, let's turn that one off. Okay, next we have Galaxian, right, which is, here you go. So you can get a closer look at the artwork there. Very nice, you know, it's very arcade accurate. One other thing I noticed here is that when you turn on the machines here, there's a little light behind this thing too, behind this bezel, so you check it out. It lights up. That's really cool. So, you know, attention to detail, because the original arcade machines actually had that going. Like, some of them did, not all of them. So here we go, Galaxian. You can see everything's looking really good. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this guy up. This was also another one of my favorite games, but I always like the Galaga a little better, which is the sequel to Galaxian, you know? So I'm hoping one day Galaga comes out, because I'll be all over that. Like, I still play Galaga to this day. Oh, there you go, I ate it. Like, it's one of my favorite games to this day, and I never miss a chance to play it on an actual arcade machine if I can. Damn, this is kind of hard. What? Whoa, that was... Okay, well, anyway, you just saw I got my ass handed to me. You know. But, yeah, I feel like I need to redeem myself here, or my audience is just gonna be like, who is this lame-o, can't even fucking get past fucking Galaxian. Anyway, alright, enough of that. So, pretty nice, pretty nice. Last one here is Mrs. Pac Man. So the thing with this one is that it looks good, right? But the actual game, only the game inside of this one for some reason is choppy. I don't know why. Like, all these other ones were fine. They seemed to play great. You saw how that worked, right? Here there's a noticeable choppiness. So let me go ahead and, you know, you'll see for yourself. I'll turn this on. So it's not so much noticeable in this screen, but once we actually start the game, keep an eye on Pac Man and the ghosts here, right? So this might not be as visible. No, you can see it through the viewfinder. Yeah, it's pretty... See how choppy that is? See how it's just sort of like... You know, like the ghosts in particular, they're just kind of running at a lower frame rate, right? The other games didn't have this problem. The other Pac Man game worked like a charm, so maybe, I don't know, is this one just more advanced or something, or I don't really know why, you know, or whatever. I always actually enjoyed Mrs. Pac Man more than regular Pac Man just because it goes faster, and it seems to just be cleaner, you know, and the challenge is greater. So, but yeah, this particular version is not exactly 100%. Now, it's still playable, you know. How did I just miss both of those? Like, it's still definitely playable. It's just, the other one was emulated better, you know. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm still enjoying it. I don't think it was a waste of money or anything. But, So yeah, that kind of makes me wonder what the actual hardware on the inside of these things is. If it can play these three fine, but not that one. Not really sure what's going on, but to me, it seems like they're the actual ROMs. I mean, the graphics look the same. The sound is definitely spot on. It's not like these games are really huge in the memory department anyway. I'm pretty sure that whatever components are on the inside are actually capable of playing the arcade ROM, so who knows. But anyway, I think they're really cool, you know. Like I said, I wouldn't use them for a hardcore gaming session. I wouldn't want to sit there and, for example, play Pac Man all the way to screen 248 or whatever, right? And get the kill screen. I wouldn't want to do that because, you know, eye strain would be pretty bad. I could see people with big, huge caveman hands like me might have a problem playing this because it's so small. You know, you basically have to use one finger in order to use it correctly. But the actual games that they have inside are simple enough that that doesn't matter. Galaxian being the most complicated game. Like, for example, I wouldn't want to play Street Fighter on something this small, right? I'm sure eventually there will probably be more releases in this line. I hope they do. I hope they release Galaga. I hope they release a couple of other ones, Dig Dug and Burger Time. That would be really cool to have something this small. But, you know, it's more of a novelty, I'd say. They're really cool. You know, I've been keeping them at my desk, so when I go to do some work, I can distract myself with games instead of being productive. So, anyway, that's all I got. Adios, folks.